Welcome. My name is Roxanne Wilson. I want to thank you for coming and joining us for Penny Workshops. This is the first of its kind this week. We're kicking off a workshop where it really is an opportunity for everyone who uses Penny, whether you use Penny that it's integrated with your partner so you get to see all of your back office, or you use Penny and you're enjoying Penny and Thrive. We are so happy that you're here all in one to really get into a little bit of working. And so some of you might have saved your work to work with us right now. Amazing. Some of you are like, I want to come in, I want to learn, I have questions, all the things. Let me give you some housekeeping. We'll dive right into it. First, there's a poll. And if you wouldn't mind taking a moment and filling out that poll, that would be so fantastic. Just gives me a little information about who's on and helps me cater it to you today. Secondly, I am not here alone. In fact, I have two wonderful customer support representatives with us. We have the fantastic Janelle and the wonderful Kevin. You may actually have talked to them before in our live chat. So know that if you have any technical questions that you came for, they'll be there here to answer it. And they're going to be answering those inside of the Q&A. The Q&A is at the bottom of your screen. And just click, you can ask them a question and they will get right back to you. Also, while you're down there looking at the bottom of your screen, as long as you're on the desktop version of Zoom, or if you're on the version on your phone, you have the ability actually to use the captions. So if you're watching and perhaps you'd love to see the captions in a different language, or if you just want to see them in English, you can also turn that on and enable that and enjoy that as well too. Okay, so I'm curious, who is watching from country other than the United States of America? We have Minnesota. Shout out to Brenda and shout out to Jetta in Missouri. Is anyone watching from, I don't know, Europe or Australia or anywhere? I'd love to know. Also, I'm Canada. Oh, Canada, which Penny is Canadian. Do you guys know? Did you guys know that little fact? It's true. My name is Roxanne Wilson. I didn't tell you about me, but I will right now. So I am the senior trainer here at Penny. And before I was the senior trainer, I was actually a lawyer who decided she didn't want to practice law. So like any good lawyer who wants to get out of law, I went on a reality show. I was fired on national TV, and then I went on to host a morning radio show and then be a host of an international shopping channel. It was after that I stumbled into network marketing, fell in love with it, fell in love with the culture, the people, helping people grow a team, giving those transformations. And yes, I love the trips and all the good awards and prizes as well too. But what I realized I loved more than that was helping direct sellers and network marketers like you get the tools that you need to really grow your business. And that is why I'm so excited to be here with you and to be here at Penny and to show you a little bit about what you can do to use for it. Now, I'm noticing from the survey, and if you haven't filled it out, please go ahead and hop on it, that most of you are working your business somewhere between 1 and 6 times a day or a month. How about a week? Interesting stat that we did with about Penny users that I want to share with you. And that is that we realize, and we have the numbers to show that when you work your business and you're using Penny, you're going into the daily and you're doing at least 30 tasks. That's about 1 a month on most months. We're seeing that you're getting 3 times as much revenue. You're building your business 3 times as much volume-wise than others. So I really want to encourage you and congratulate you for being here today, because that's you taking that first step to use Penny more and more so that you can grow your business. Think of Penny as your virtual assistant. Think of Penny as a time saver. Think of Penny as keeping you organized and keeping track of all the things. And think of Penny as like when you think about working your business, think Penny. I need to grab Penny. Okay. Now you're probably looking at the Penny behind me and you're saying to yourself, this looks a little different. That is not the color of my Penny. Anyone thinking that? My Penny is orange. My Penny is coral. My Penny is not that color, Roxanne. That is because you are all from different companies. So you're going to have different colors and iterations. This is my Penny. Like literally it's Rox Talks Shop. I've named my shop. And so if you, as we're going through it, if you're looking at something going, this is somewhere else on my app, just let me know and I can show you. I know all of your companies and all the things, so I can show you where and tell you where it is. Otherwise, it's all going to look very similar and familiar. All right, so we ready to dive in? Grab your app with me and we're going to talk about the daily. How many of you use the daily on the daily? Pun intended right there. Okay, so you can see my screen all as well. Let's dive into the daily. Now, when you look at the daily, some things that you need to know about the daily. Yeah, it's where you start. Exactly, Mari. And it's actually when you open up the app or even the computer version, it is always going to open up to the daily, and that is intentional. And the reason we do that is because we want you to get into activity, right? So literally when you open up Penny, it shows you the task to complete for the day so that you can grow and build your business. Now, when I think about working your business and also working with Penny, I think about the 5 C's. Go with me here. Okay, like 5 C's, what? So I'm going to show them to you right now. Whenever you are in Penny, first, and we're going to talk about these today, you're going to learn how to customize the daily to what you need and what you want. You're going to use Penny to get context, because we often forget who we're talking to or what we talked to them about last, but Penny's going to keep track of that for you. Of course, Penny's going to be that place you're going to get your content. And if you're not using it for content yet, I encourage you to use it to store your content so it's right there. And then, of course, we've got to contact. And there's a reason I made this bold, y'all. I'm all about the C's today. I made this bold because Penny can be the best virtual assistant, keep you organized, tell you who to talk to, all the things. But if you're not actually doing the activity, if you don't actually have that connection, I know sometimes it can be scary. I get that. But if you don't do the contact or to complete the task, you're not going to see that growth in your business. So contact is very important. But then the last step, also important, that Penny helps you with. Penny helps you because you're going to complete the task and you're going to tell Penny that you've completed it. This is huge. I'll confess to you right now, and let me know if you can relate. There have been times when I was working my business and I did a reach out, but I forgot to do the reach out. I didn't follow up. We know fortune's in the follow up, right? And it wasn't until a while later that I went to reach back out. Maybe I was running for something and I looked and I'm like, oh my goodness, I never followed up with this person. That's because we're doing all the things, and it's hard to keep track of all of it. As long as you let Penny know that you've completed that task for the day, and Penny will remind you, I'll show you that in a bit. Penny is always going to set up another task for you and make sure you stay in activity. So note that. So you don't have to try and remember, who did I say I was going to talk to? And when did I say I was going to talk to her? Because as long as you tell Penny, Penny's going to remember that and remind you. Okay, so those are my 5 C's. Let's dive into the daily. Now, you'll notice at the top, you see right here, and I know your top looks a little different. Don't look at I've got a little preview of something coming soon there, but ignore. When you see it, you'll be like, I saw that at a Penny workshop. You sure did. By the way, Penny workshops, just so you know, you're going to be seeing a lot of things early on. So I'm just going to recommend that you, when you can, sign up for one, because you just never know what I'm going to be showing you. You'll be like, I was the first to know about it. But do you see where it says easy does it right there? And you see that arrow? I want you to click on that little arrow that's on the left-hand side of the screen. This is a powerful piece. How many of you guys do this on the regular? I'm curious. And I love interaction, so please don't hesitate to chat with me. Mari does it, amazing chat. And by the way, when you chat, if you click on the blue everyone, then we can all see what you're saying. If you just want me to see it though, you can do a host and panelist. And when you click on that button, you're going to see something that says, how hard would you like to work today? Now, here's why that's important. Because Penny will actually allow you to and give you the ability to customize how much activity you want to see for a given day, which is huge, right? Because sometimes you might be like, you know what, I have 15 minutes and I want to be productive in those 15 minutes, but I only have 15 minutes. Fret not, because Penny's going to make sure that those 15 minutes are productive, that you're able to get your work done. It might be that you have, like it's end of the month, everyone has gone, left the house, and you're like, you know what? I have all the time in the world. I need more tasks. Give them to me. When you click right there on that freight train, like I just did, Penny will give you more tasks. Or if you want a little Goldilocks, you can tap on crank it up and Penny will give you a medium size. So what I'd like you guys to do right now is go ahead and do that. I'll show you how I got there again. So you can see I went up to the top where it says, mine says crank it up, but at the top, you'll see that to the left, you'll see that arrow. Tap on that arrow. And when you tap on that arrow, it's going to take you to the screen right here, right? And you're going to decide just by tapping where you want it, whether you want it to be freight train, maybe you want a little easy does it, or somewhere in the middle. And that's going to determine how many tasks you get. Once you've done it, let me know and pop it in the chat, because I'd love to hear what you've decided for today or maybe for tomorrow. Okay. And then just so you know, once you do that, at the bottom of your screen, you're going to see a button that says, let's get started. What I want you to do with that is go ahead and click on let's get started. And when you click on let's get started, it'll take you right back to the screen. Okay. Yes, Sonia asked a great question. Sonia says, does that mean you can change it for a specific day and Penny will prioritize that level? Exactly. You can literally change it every single day. So depending how you're feeling, you can go in and change it. Now, if you're new to Penny, if you're new to your business, my recommendation to you is this: start with Easy Does It. If you complete all your tasks, all you have to do is go back same day and change it, and Penny will give you more tasks. So we have Mari, who's chose Crank It Up for tomorrow. Amazing. Sonia said, great. She never knew that. Aren't you glad you came? All sorts of things you're learning today and whenever you come to the workshops. So yeah, you can customize the amount of tasks. Now, do you see the bubbles, those purple bubbles? For me, yours are probably a different color. This tells me exactly how many tasks I have in that category, in that area. So I can see right now that I have one reach out task, I have one box opening, I have one Connect 45, and so on and so forth. Good to see you, Gail. I'm so glad you were here. You can just watch. You can watch and then you can practice. In fact, y'all, guess what? This is being recorded, and we're going to put all of the recordings on YouTube so you can easily get access to them. So just note that we got you covered. Okay, so it looks like you guys have made your choices. You're doing good in the neighborhood. You've chosen what you want. Now, the next thing I want to show you in the daily section is we're going to dive into doing some tasks. Everybody's tasks are going to look a little different because you have different companies and you will have different, when it comes to your customer care cycle, you're going to see that there's different cadences, right? Some of you have products that people buy every four months. Some of you have products everyone buys every 2 months. Some of you have products everyone buys every month. And so you're going to notice that the customer tasks are different. But let's start at the beginning with your prospecting tasks. Now, when you look at the order of the daily, prospecting tasks are going to be the first tasks you see. And I want you to know this. We use the word prospecting in Penny to mean anyone who's a potential customer and anyone who's a potential team member, either or. So as long as there's someone you're talking to about buying from you or joining you, that is going to be considered a prospect. How many of you have, I'm going to look at the little survey too, if you've completed it. So it looks like, okay, you're almost 50-50. Most of you have actually never put a prospect into Penny. Can I encourage you to do that? And here's why. When you put a prospect inside of Penny, Penny keeps track of that prospect. Y'all, I still am finding handbags where I have napkins of people that I met that I was going to give a sample to when I was working my business, and I never did. I didn't mean to forget, but it just happens. With Penny, as long as you put that person into Penny, you'll be able to schedule that reach out with them. You'll be able to put notes in about what you're going to talk to them about, and you'll be able to track it. It's really, really simple. So I encourage you guys to do that. And by the way, I'm going to be sending you a little note on how you add prospects in there. Okay, I love that. Margene says I've added them, but I'm not really sure what to do with them. Great question. When you add a prospect, what you're going to do is, as soon as you add a prospect, and I won't have time to show you today, but just roll with me, you will actually set when you want to reach out to them. And so you'll set, yes, I want to talk to them tomorrow or next week or anytime within a year. And so then when that happens, when that day occurs, they're going to show up in your daily section. However, you can also touch base with them and check with them in your contacts. You can look them up. So let's say you run into them in the store and it wasn't a day you were going to talk to them. You can go into contacts and you can go ahead and keep track of that information and then set up a task is what we call it, to touch base with them. Now, I have a little question for you all. When you think about your prospecting tasks inside of Penny, we call them follow-ups and reach outs. Does anyone know the difference between a reach out and a follow-up inside of Penny? I'm curious. Yeah, so Margene says, I would say a reach out is the first touch and then a follow-up. Exactly. And Sonia, I love that. She's like, no, I don't understand the terminology. Please tell me. Don, you got it. A reach out is the first time you contact them, and a follow-up is every time after that. So think reach out is first time, and then every time after that's a follow-up. Now, once you do a reach out, Penny is going to automatically prompt you to set up the next time you're going to talk to them, the follow-up. And Penny will do that and set up follow-ups for them until they become a team member or a customer, just like that. Now, here's what's interesting here. If you're thinking, okay, I've always wondered what this terminology is and I just don't know, I want to show you a little something that we've added to Penny that's going to be very helpful. Do you see the little black circle with the question mark right there? Here's what's really great. If ever you're not sure what something is, go ahead and tap on the little black circle. Make sure you're right on that circle and it'll pop up. So a reach out is, this is the very first time you engage with a new prospect. So it's going to tell you. So don't ever think you have to memorize it or have it like, oh my goodness, I have to have this memorized. There's going to be a test. There's no test. And there's also the how-to is going to be right there for you. So know that, okay? All right. So now that we've done that, let's go ahead and do a task together, I say. And move this just slightly so you can see it a little bit better. There we go. I want you to see the bottom of it. Okay. So let me go ahead and tap back on this. So it goes, wait, there it is. All right. So I would love, I'm so glad you love that evolution. We are always reiterating and always improving to make it very helpful for you all. So we love your feedback as well too. Okay, so now that we know what a reach out is, what I'm going to do is let's do a task together. And here's the thing about tasks, okay? When you know how to do one task in the daily, you know how to do them all. They're all going to look very similar. So I'm going to take you through a task. If you don't have a prospecting task, if you don't have a reach out or a follow-up, totally fine. Pick one of your customer care tasks, okay? And this is probably a good time. Let me just give you some, as you're getting to know Penny and use Penny and integrate Penny more, I'm going to show you a little something I recommend that really works well. And like I said, we're seeing the data and people who are regularly using Penny are getting and seeing the increase in volume in their team. Here's some action steps I want to encourage you to do. We've done one already today. You know how to customize your daily. That way the daily is really set up for what you need and what you want on a particular day. The second thing I encourage you to do is to add one prospect. And I will show you how to find the article on how to add a prospect, just in case. I'll show you where it is too. I'll make that happen. And then, so every time you open Penny, I want you to say, okay, I'm going to add a new prospect into Penny, whether it's someone you've talked to before, or it's someone who you are just now going to have a conversation with, put them into Penny. And then last but not least, go ahead and connect with at least 3 customers each day you're in Penny. Now, listen, can you do more than that? Of course you can. But if you start with those basic action steps, you're going to see that that's moving forward. And I know sometimes we feel like these steps are little, but these steps make a difference in growing your business. Okay, so let's go ahead. I'm going to tap on reach out. You can go ahead and tap on any of these that you like. Know that when you tap on reach out or any of the tasks you're seeing, it's going to open up the task and show you everyone you have for today. I have Scott. Scott is my reach out for today. So I'm going to go ahead and now the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to tap on Scott's name. When you tap anywhere on Scott's name, it's going to open up the task pad. And this is where the meaty information is. Okay. So if you remember, now that I'm going to reach out to Scott, I need some context because I don't remember what I was going to talk to Scott about. I want to make sure that I make that relationship seamless so that Scott's like, goodness, every time you reach out to me, Roxanne, you always know where we left off. And so once you click in and as you use it more and you put more information in, you can check out what's going on with them. Okay, so this is how you do this, little trick for you. At the top of the screen, do you see where it says Scott's name? I'm going to go ahead and tap on Scott's name, and you can do this anywhere. When you tap on someone's name inside of Penny, it is going to open up the contact card. This gives me all of Scott's history. So think about it this way. If Scott were a customer, it would even give me the lifetime value. It would tell me what he orders the most. It's going to give me all the deets. Because he's a prospect, I can see where he lives, Irvine, California, which is where I live, by the way. And yes, it is 60 degrees right now, Fahrenheit. And it's nighttime. So you can see all this information. I can even see his Instagram, and I could click on that to open his Instagram. I can see the information that I have in here, phone number and whatnot. Now, if I come back to the top of the screen where it says we're in details, let me go over to activity and tap on activity. When I tap on activity, I can see what's scheduled. Now, this activity section gives you exactly that. You're going to be able to see every time you ever spoke to Scott. You're going to get to also see if Scott was a customer, every order Scott has purchased will be in there. You'll get to see any notes you've put in there. All that information will be in there for you. So this is where I say you want to get context so you can reacquaint yourself with Scott before you reach out to him. Now, I know that for some people, like if you're doing certain things, you might not need to know all this context. But if it's someone you're like, I know I need to reach out to them, I don't remember who they are, dive in here and take a look. I did add his IG account, Mara. Yes, I did. Okay, so right here, I'm going to tap on reach out, or actually I'm going to look at it. See what it says? It says invite to Valentine's Day self-care event. That's right. That's what I want to do with Scott. Great. Now I remember I'm ready to go. I'm going to complete it. When you're here, I want to go back to completing the task. So I'm going to go to the bottom right-hand side of the screen and tap on that X. That's going to take me back one step. And I'm back here at the task pad. So I want to complete this task. Now, a little call out to you. If you have content in here and your companies have put corporate content in there, you may have put your content in there. I want to encourage you, if you haven't, to go ahead and do that, but you don't have to do that to be successful with Penny. In fact, I was meeting with some users, I'll say, were the consultants, nudge, that narrows it down a little bit. And they just started using Penny. The company had just gotten Penny. They were 2 months in, and she and I were meeting. She was going to present about what she was doing. And I was said something about content. She's like, oh, I haven't even put in content yet. She's like, I've been getting new customers and all these things. I haven't even focused on content. So I want you to know, if you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know how to use the content section, that's okay. You can learn and play with that later. In fact, perhaps we'll talk about that next month. But what you can do right now is you can complete your tasks without even needing to do that. So today, I'm not even going to go into content. What we're going to do is we're going to contact. So what you'll do, little call out to you, is you're going to just simply, if you don't have any content in there and you don't know what you're going to talk about with someone, what you're going to do right here is you're going to just tap on contact right there at the bottom where it says more. And this is going to open up the contact pad. You're going to see, look at all the ways that I can talk to Scott. I can text Scott. I can Instagram him because I put his Instagram, messenger him because I put his information in. I haven't put Facebook Messenger in yet, but if I wanted to, and I could just tap on that add button and do it right now, then I could go into Facebook Messenger and contact him there. LinkedIn Messenger, email, you can see phone, of course, WhatsApp, and y'all probably also have Kakao Talk as well too, which is what they use in Korea. So you have all of these ways you can talk to him. So if you don't have content in here yet, go ahead and grab content that you're saving. I bet you have in your notes section, you have in another app, and one day you will put it in Penny. It's going to be great. All you need to do is tap on SMS. I'm going to text him. It's going to open up the text feature. And in this moment, I can either type it right here, or I can use the dictation feature, which I'll do right now, and say, hi, Scott, hope you're doing well, period. Wanted to let you know that I'm having a special Valentine's self-care event this Sunday that I think you're going to love, period. I'm going to be showcasing some of the great Rox Talk Shop items that including seed cycling, which by the way, doesn't really appropriate for Scott, but that's fine. And I think it would be great to have you there. Shall I put you down? It's going to be at 3:00 on Sunday, ? Period. Okay. We'll pretend that was really good. I've got my message. It's right there. And then I will send it away. Now, whenever you do dictation or anything, you want to read it, right? I know there's typos in here, but I also know this phone's not going to go anywhere. So I'm fine with that. So I'm just going to hit the send button and I'm sending away. Now, once I hit send, look what happened. Look who came back. Penny did. And I want to show you, do you see at the very tippy top? Do you see right there? Do you see underneath Scott's name, it says pending? Remember when I told you about that complete feature and how important that is? See, Penny is a steel trap, and Penny knows that you went away to go text someone, or you went to Instagram, which means you might have seen some reels and now you're off in Reels land, or you went to Facebook, or you went to LinkedIn. And Penny wants to make sure that you stay in contact and let them know you've completed it. So you're going to see a pending, and that pending always means that you need to complete the task. Okay. So why do we want to complete the task? Because Penny wants to make sure that you get another task set up to follow up, and also wants to give you an opportunity to put in any of those notes. So right here, that's why the complete button is so big on your screens. We're going to tap on complete. And when you tap on complete, because it's a prospect, Penny's going to ask you, oh, great. So how did it go with Scott? You have an opportunity right here to categorize it anywhere from on the fence to not interested. And based on how you categorize it, Penny is actually going to suggest a time for you, an interval of time when you should follow up with them. Okay. Now you don't have to go with that time, but it's a great suggestion, a good practice. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say hot prospect. I like the FIA. I'm going to tap on hot prospect. And now that I've tapped on hot prospect, Penny's suggesting that I connect with Scott in 2 weeks, which is great. Great idea. However, remember what I said. I'm inviting Scott to an event that happens to be on Sunday. So I need to talk to Scott Saturday to remind him of the event. So what I'm going to do, and what you can do as well too, is note this. you have an ability to go with 2 weeks, or you can reschedule. You can reschedule any time, suggested time, or you can pick on that pick date and pick a specific time. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to tap on pick a date, and you can pick anywhere between now and a year from now. I'm going to go ahead and click on Sunday, the 12th. And now you can see February the 12th has been set. Oh, the 12th, actually, I want to do the 11th. So I'm going to tap back on February 12th, and just the calendar comes up again. And now I'll pick the 11th. Perfect. Now, before you hit that schedule or reschedule at the bottom, I want you to see that big button, mine's purple, that says add notes and tags. Very important button, right? We talk about making sure you remember what we talked to them about and why we talked to them and all the things. Let's tap on that. And this opens up your ability to add all of those juicy details that are going to help you remember and quickly talk to Scott the next time. So I'm going to tap into notes. And once I tap into notes, into that box, you'll see the keyboard comes up. I'm going to just click on that dictation feature and say, remind Scott about the Valentine's self-care event, period. Great. So I have my little thing in here. And y'all, don't even worry. If you spelled this wrong, it doesn't matter. You're the only one seeing it, right? Now here, I'm going to tap on done. I'll go over to add note. And now I have an opportunity to add a tag. Think about tags as ways to categorize people in different ways. So you can see I already have one like loves live events is a tag that I made. So I know whenever I'm having a live event in the area, I'm going to invite everyone who loves to go to them. Potential team member, I've added that tag. But you can add tags for anything. So I'm going to tap here into that dove gray box. And I'm going to tap in, he is a dog dad, because I'm going to do something special for dogs here pretty soon. Once I've typed it in, I'm just going to tap on that plus sign in purple. And there, I've added that tag. You can organize and add tags for anything. And you might go, why would I do that? Because a little bit later, and I'm actually going to be showing this in 2 weeks here, you can actually make a list based on whomever you like based on those tags. Okay, it's one of the things you can do. So you can say, I want to talk to all dog dads. You can literally get all the dog dads on a list and be able to talk to them very quickly, all organized right there. You can't do that in notebooks, right? You can't do that in a spreadsheet easily, but you can with Penny. Okay, so now that I've done that, and again, if you wanted to add any suggested tags, I could tag on some of these and click on those as well. But I feel pretty good. I'm going to tap on the next in the bottom left-hand side of the screen. And now I can see I've scheduled it for February 11th. I've added my notes and tags. So I'm just going to come down to the bottom of the screen and I'll tap on that reschedule. And now I'm done. I've done my task. I only had one today. So yay, completed, and I'm good to go. Remember, whenever you want to go backwards, that X at the bottom of the screen, you're going to tap on that X. It's going to take you back. All of your tasks are going to be very similar to completing this task. Just know that. So now that you know how to complete one task, you have the ability to complete any task. I have 60 seconds. This is what we're going to do with these 60 seconds. Okay, y'all? Now you know how to use the daily. It's yours to use. It's yours to enjoy, and it's yours to help you with your business. What we know, I'm going to go back to those action steps, is when you do these every time you open up your Penny, every time you're working your business, customize that daily, add one prospect, and then of course, connect with 3 of your customers. You're going to see that that's a healthy start to growing your business in your time, and you can get that done very quickly. Okay, you all, I've enjoyed so much being here with you. I want to see you again. In fact, we're doing Penny workshops. Next week is going to be Ask Me Anything. So come with any question. I'm going to demo it for you and show you how to do it. And then the week after, we're going to talk about multitasking. But you can go to this website just like you did before to join it and invite your friends and your sidelines to come as well too. All right. As we say at Penny, every day is a big day. I know this is a big day or night for you. Thank you so much. And I'll see you next time, and get to stepping on those action steps and work your business. Take care. Bye, everybody.